Modern tractors cost hundreds of thousands, yet these 50-year-old beasts still run circles around them, and one of them is considered the most unstoppable tractor ever built. Today we're counting down 13 old tractors that modern machines still can't beat. Number 13. David Brown 880 Select-O-Matic. They called it a foreign gamble when it hit American soil in 1965. British engineering, they said. Too complex for farm work. 3-cylinder diesel when everyone wanted V8 power. 46 horsepower from Coventry, England, competing against Detroit iron that farmers trusted. Here's what most people didn't know. That Select-O-Matic hydraulic system wasn't just marketing fluff. While American tractors were still using mechanical linkages and prayer, David Brown gave farmers draft control, height control, and depth control in one integrated system. The kind of precision that modern tractors charge 15 grand extra for. And while American tractors from that era are rusting in museum displays, these British beasts are still working European farms at 8,000 hours with original engines. Farmers who bought one David Brown never switched brand. They'd hunt auctions for parts, learn British threading, even import hydraulic fluid from England. Because when you find a tractor that works for 30 years without major repairs, you don't care what country built it. Modern tractors break computers every season. The 880 Select-O-Matic breaks ground and keeps breaking it. Number 12. Farmall Cub. Everyone laughed at the Farmall Cub in 1947. 10 horsepower when neighbors were buying 30. It looked like a toy next to full-size Farmalls. International Harvester marketed it to hobby farmers, small acreage owners, people who needed something between a garden tractor and a real tractor. What they built was something entirely different. Here's where it gets interesting. This wasn't built to compete with big tractors. It was built to outlast them. 4-cylinder gas engine with parts you could order from any IH dealer for the next 3 decades. No complicated hydraulics. No electrical systems that required engineering degrees to diagnose. The Cub used a Kohler engine that started every morning, ran all day, and asked for nothing but gas and oil changes. Touch control hydraulic system that lifted implements smooth as silk. Transmission that shifted like butter after 50 years. Engineers designed it simple because simple worked. 32 years of production from 1947 to 1979. Farmers bought them for gardens and kept them for everything else. Today, while modern compact tractors need dealer visits every season for computer problems, fuel system issues, and emissions equipment failures, Cubs are still mowing, tilling, and hauling after 75 years. 10 horsepower that never quits beats 50 horsepower that won't start on Monday morning. But one tractor changed everything with just 95 horsepower. Number 11. John Deere 4020. In 1963, most tractors were still glorified plows with engines bolted on. Uncomfortable seats, mechanical steering that fought you all day, transmissions that required Hercules to shift. The 4020 changed everything overnight. 95 horsepower when 60 was considered strong. Power shift transmission that shifted under load without stopping. Hydraulics that actually worked when you needed them. Operator station designed by engineers who apparently talked to actual farmers. John Deere spent 4 years developing the 4020, testing prototypes on farms from Iowa to Texas. They wanted to build the perfect tractor, and they came frighteningly close. But here's the thing nobody talks about. Modern John Deeres need software updates, diagnostic computers, and dealer visits for problems farmers can't fix themselves. The 4020 needs diesel and grease. That's it. Over 184,000 4020s rolled off the Waterloo assembly line between 1963 and 1972. Farmers fought over them at auctions, paid premium prices for clean examples, and worked them for decades without major problems. Every modern tractor tries to be the 4020 with better technology. None succeed because they forgot the fundamental lesson. Reliability matters more than features. The 4020 set the standard for power, comfort, and dependability that today's computerized monsters can't match without breaking down. Number 10. Fordson Model F. Henry Ford didn't just build cars. In 1917, he applied mass production principles to tractors and changed American agriculture forever. The Fordson Model F wasn't the first tractor, but it was the first tractor that regular farmers could afford. 20 horsepower from a 4-cylinder engine that shared parts with Model T cars, priced at $750 when competitors charged $1,500. Simple enough for any farmer to fix with basic tools and common sense. Before the Fordson, tractors were custom-built luxuries for wealthy farmers. Expensive, complicated, unreliable. Most farming was still done with horses, mules, and human muscle power. What most people don't realize is this wasn't just another tractor. It was the Model T farming. Ford didn't just build machines. He built an entire support system. Dealers in every farming town, parts standardization, repair manuals written for farmers, not engineers. The Fordson sold for 11 years, from 1917 to 1928. Over 750,000 built in the United States alone, thousands more built in England and Ireland. Farmers who bought Fordsons worked longer days with less effort, plowed more acres in less time, freed up land previously needed for horse feed. The economic impact was staggering. American agricultural productivity doubled in a decade. Modern tractors are more powerful, more comfortable, more efficient, but they're not more revolutionary. Speaking of originals, this one dominated the Midwest for decades. Number 9. Minneapolis Moline U. The Minneapolis Moline U looked like overkill when it debuted in 1938. 45 horsepower for wheat fields that stretched to the horizon. Built heavy when competitors were cutting weight to save costs. Priced high when farmers were counting every dollar. Minneapolis Moline was betting everything on the American prairie. Endless wheat fields that needed endless power. Conditions that broke lesser machines and sent farmers looking for something stronger. Here's where it gets good. Those endless wheat fields demanded more than horsepower. They needed torque, durability, and the ability to run 14-hour days during harvest without overheating, breaking down, or leaving farmers stranded with a crop in the field. The U delivered all three. 4-cylinder engine with displacement most modern cars would envy. Cooling system designed for Dakota summers. Transmission with gear ratios perfectly matched to gang plows and threshing equipment. While other tractors broke down during harvest season, the U kept running. Prairie farmers bought them new in 1938 and worked them until the 1970s without major rebuilds. Modern tractors have more horsepower but less endurance. They're built for efficiency numbers that look good in marketing brochures, not for survival in conditions that kill lesser machines. The next tractor built a reputation one pull at a time. And don't forget, if these old machines are already surprising you, hit subscribe because the next 5 will change how you think about modern farming. Number 8. Case Model DC. Case wasn't flashy in 1939. No revolutionary features advertised in farm magazines. No fancy paint schemes or marketing gimmicks. Just a 4-cylinder engine, a solid transmission, and a promise to pull whatever farmers hooked behind it. The DC looked ordinary compared to its contemporaries. 30 to 40 horsepower depending on configuration. Standard 3-speed transmission. Conventional styling that wouldn't win any beauty contests. But here's what separated the DC from the pack. Pull power wasn't about horsepower numbers on paper. It was about torque curves, weight distribution, gear ratios, and traction. The DC got all 4 exactly right. That 4-cylinder engine produced peak torque at low RPMs, perfect for drawbar work. Weight distribution put maximum pressure on drive wheels without compromising steering. Gear ratios matched implement requirements instead of speed requirements. When other tractors spun wheels, the DC dug in and pulled. Case built the DC for 14 years, from 1939 to 1953. Farmers discovered its pulling ability through word of mouth, not advertising. Hay farmers still hunt for them at auctions. Modern tractors have more horsepower on paper, but can't translate that power to the ground as effectively. But what if smooth power could actually make farmers more money? Number 7. Oliver Buschauer 77. Oliver built the 77 in 1947 with one revolutionary goal: prove that tractors didn't have to shake operators' teeth loose. While competitors accepted vibration as inevitable, Oliver engineers decided to solve the problem. 6-cylinder engine when everyone else was stuck on 4s. Advanced hydraulic system when others still used mechanical lift. Operator comfort when the industry considered comfort a luxury farmers couldn't afford. Most 1940s tractors were mobile torture devices, 2- and 4-cylinder engines that vibrated everything loose. Here's the killer detail. That smooth power wasn't just about operator comfort, it was about productivity. Less vibration meant longer operating hours without fatigue. Better hydraulics meant faster implement changes between operations. Smooth power delivery that didn't shock implement connections loose. While farmers using other brands were worn out and calling it quits by lunch, Oliver's 77 operators worked full 12-hour days without the physical beating. Hydraulic system that lifted implements smoothly instead of jerking them up. 6-cylinder engine that ran smooth from idle to redline. Oliver sold the 77 for 5 years and built a reputation for quality that lasted decades. Farmers who bought one usually bought another when it was time to upgrade. They understood the value of smooth power and reliable hydraulics. Modern tractors advertise comfort features like they invented the concept. Oliver figured out smooth operation and operator comfort 75 years ago, without adding complexity that breaks down and requires dealer service. But nobody expected what happened when someone put a turbocharger on a farm tractor. Number 6. Allis-Chalmers WD-45. Allis-Chalmers engineers went completely insane in 1953. Turbocharger on a farm tractor, factory installed and factory warranted. guaranteed by the company that built it when most manufacturers wouldn't warranty experimental technology. Everyone said it wouldn't work. Turbochargers were for race cars and aircraft engines, not farm equipment. Too complex for farm conditions, too expensive for farmers who counted every penny, too likely to fail when farmers needed them most. What nobody expected was, it actually worked perfectly. 30 horsepower that performed like 45 in real-world conditions. Power director hand clutch that gave live PTO operation when competitors required full stops. The turbocharger solved diesel engine problems that had frustrated farmers for years. Better breathing at high altitudes. More power at lower RPMs. Alice Chalmers built the WD-45 for 4 years and proved that turbocharging could work on farm equipment. Other manufacturers watched, learned, and eventually copied the concept. But they copied it decades later with computer controls, electronic sensors, and dealer-only diagnostics. Every modern tractor manufacturer claims turbo innovation as their breakthrough technology. Alice Chalmers did it 70 years ago with mechanical simplicity that farmers could understand and fix themselves. But one utility tractor refused to stay in its lane and conquered 3 continents. Number 5. Massey Ferguson 165. Massey Ferguson called the 165 a utility tractor when they launched it in 1964. 58 horsepower from a Perkins diesel engine, multi-power transmission that doubled the number of available gear ratios, power steering that actually worked in field conditions. Nothing revolutionary, just solid engineering executed properly. Here's what made it legendary. Utility became code for indestructible among farmers who worked them. That Perkins diesel started in any weather conditions farmers could create. Power steering system that didn't fail after 5 seasons like competitors. The 165 did everything farmers needed without complaint. Plowed fields, cultivated crops, ran hay equipment, and powered PTO implements. Worked in mud, dust, heat, cold, and conditions that killed lesser machines. Massey Ferguson built the 165 for 15 years, from 1964 to 1979. Production numbers reached nearly 200,000 units worldwide. Today, rural Africa, small American farms, and European operations still run 165s with original engines and transmissions. Modern tractors need climate-controlled shops and dealer diagnostic equipment. The 165 needs diesel fuel and basic maintenance. It's still doing everything, everywhere, just like Massey Ferguson promised. But one British engineer changed everything with just 20 horsepower. Number 4. Ferguson TE20. Little Gray Fergie. Harry Ferguson's TE20 looked like a child's toy when it appeared in 1946. 20 horsepower in a world where bigger always seemed better. Lightweight construction when farmers believed heavy meant strong. Built in Coventry, England, when American farmers preferred American iron. Ferguson had spent 20 years developing his revolutionary 3-point hitch system, draft control that automatically adjusted implement depth based on soil resistance, hydraulic lift that made implements part of the tractor instead of something dragged behind it. But here's the revolution nobody saw coming. The Ferguson system changed everything about how tractors and implements worked together. Before Ferguson, implements were pulled behind tractors with mechanical connections that required constant operator adjustment. The TE20's 3-point hitch used hydraulic power to control implement depth, lift implements out of work position, and transfer implement weight to the tractor's rear wheels for better traction. Ferguson licensed the system to other manufacturers, but he kept improving it on his own tractors. Production continued for 10 years, from 1946 to 1956. Over 500,000 TE20s were built and sold worldwide. Every modern tractor uses Ferguson's 3-point hitch system. Patents expired decades ago, but the fundamental principles remain unchanged. 78 years later, tractor engineers are still building variations of Ferguson's original design. But what transformed small farms into profitable businesses was pure versatility. Number 3. International Harvester Farm All H. The Farm All H arrived on American farms in 1939 with one specific mission: make row crop farming profitable for farmers with small to medium acreage. 26 horsepower from a 4-cylinder gas engine. International Harvester had been building row crop tractors since the 1920s, but the H represented a breakthrough in versatility and affordability, priced within reach of farmers who previously couldn't afford specialized equipment. Here's where it dominated everything else. Versatility wasn't marketing speak with the H, it was engineering reality. Cultivators for working row crops, planters for seeding, plows for breaking ground, mowers for cutting hay. One tractor that could handle every operation on a diversified farm. High ground clearance allowed the H to cultivate corn until it was shoulder high. Power takeoff drove belt-powered equipment like threshing machines and hay balers. Hydraulic lift handled heavy implements without the backbreaking manual lifting other tractors required. The H transformed small farming economics. International Harvester built over 390,000 Farmall H's between 1939 and 1953. 14 years of production because farmers kept buying them. Modern row crop tractors are bigger, more powerful, and loaded with technology. But they're also more expensive, more complicated, and more specialized. The H was simple, affordable, and did everything, but nothing prepared America for the sound of 2 cylinders that changed everything. Number 2. John Deere Model B. 2 cylinders when everyone else was building 4s. 17 horsepower when competitors offered more. The distinctive Johnny Popper exhaust note that announced farming was happening nearby. The John Deere Model B wasn't the biggest, fastest, or most powerful tractor of 1935, but it became the most beloved. John Deere built the B for 17 years, from 1935 to 1952, longest production run in company history at the time. Over 300,000 built, each one virtually hand-assembled in Waterloo, Iowa, by craftsmen who took pride in their work. But here's what made it truly special. That 2-cylinder engine everyone mocked produced massive torque at low RPMs. Perfect power characteristics for pulling implements through heavy soil. The B's engine fired every other revolution, creating a distinctive exhaust rhythm farmers could hear miles away. Other tractors made mechanical noise. The B made music. Farmers could identify a well-tuned B by sound alone. John Deere's 2-cylinder engines ran on almost any combustible liquid. Gasoline, kerosene, distillate fuel, whatever farmers could buy cheapest. The Model B created customer loyalty that lasted generations. Farmers who bought Bs bought more John Deeres when it was time to upgrade. Sons inherited their father's preferences for green paint and 2-cylinder simplicity. Today, restored Model Bs sell at auctions for more than they cost when new, and the #1 old tractor that modern machines still can't beat. Number 1. Ford 8N. Ford 8N, released in 1947, was supposed to democratize American farming, make tractor ownership possible for every farmer, regardless of farm size or financial resources. 27 horsepower that any farmer could afford, 4-speed transmission that anyone could operate, 3-point hitch that revolutionized implement attachment. Henry Ford's agricultural vision was simple: give farmers the same mass production benefits that made automobiles affordable. The 8N delivered on every promise. Starting price under $1,400 when competitors charged twice that amount. Parts availability through Ford dealers in every farming community. Service manuals written for farmers, not engineers. Here's what Ford got absolutely right. Simple was better than complex in every situation that mattered. The 8N had one computer, the farmer's brain, one diagnostic system, the farmer's ears and experience, one repair manual, common sense combined with basic mechanical knowledge. Ford engineers designed the 8N for farmers who couldn't afford downtime during critical seasons. 4-cylinder engine with parts that interchanged with Ford automobiles. Electrical system simple enough for farmers to rewire themselves. The Ferguson system 3-point hitch made the 8N incredibly versatile. Draft control that automatically maintained implement depth. Hydraulic lift that made one person capable of handling implements that previously required help. Position control for precise implement positioning. Over 524,000 8 nanoseconds rolled off Ford assembly lines between 1947 and 1952. 5 years of production that changed American agriculture forever. Small farms became viable. Part-time farming became possible. The 8N proved something modern tractor manufacturers seem to have forgotten. Reliability beats complexity every time. Simplicity beats sophistication when farmers need equipment that works. A tractor that starts every morning and runs all day beats one that has every feature but spends time in the repair shop. 75 years later, 8 nanoseconds are still working farms across America. Ford didn't just build a tractor with the 8N. They built the foundation of modern American agriculture, one simple, reliable machine at a time. But there's another list we made about tractors that farmers wish they'd never bought. Click it now before you make a costly mistake that could bankrupt your operation.